Welcome everyone here to the Smash Evening Show right here on Smash FM here on a lockdown Wednesday here in Melbourne. And of course, let's of course go to our friends over in the US and go to the Big D at Dallas, Texas. And of course, speak to a US artist over there. And of course, her name's Stephanie. She joins us right now. Thanks, Steph, for joining us.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
No worries. Well, very interesting times as we spoke about prior to this interview. Tell us, what have you been doing during these crazy times, especially over there in the US?
Well, besides the fact of trying to survive through it and just being frustrated for not being able to leave the house, as far as with my music, it's been a great time to write. I've written so many songs. I think that I've written more songs in the last few months than I probably have in the last few years. Because when I had actually planned on doing a tour this summer and into the fall, and of course that got canceled. So it gave me lots of opportunities to do live shows on Facebook. It gave me lots of opportunities to just kind of work on my music. I also teach music out of my house, which has been fun. But as far as just with the virus, I've been able to do a lot more just writing, which I love to do. I love to songwrite. I love that. So.
And talking about songwriting, obviously transfer onto music itself. Have you had a chance to release any new singles or new EPs that our listeners can?
Yes. So I go by Lady Redneck, as you know, and so I have finished 5 albums, and then since the virus hits, I've been to the studio only twice. Usually I go once a month, but with the virus, I had to scale way back. And then anyway, so I recorded. I've actually been 3 times. So I've released 2 singles. One song was called Cinnamon, and it had this dark Texas country feel. It was a really fun song and kind of different to bring in a little some more fans that maybe hadn't followed me before. And then I just released Thinking Out Loud, which was, of course, Ed Sheeran's song. And usually I do my own original songs, but I just thought it would be really fun to do a couple covers, so that's what I did. So Thinking Out Loud is I wish I'd have written it. The words are so fabulous, and I just think it's such a sweet song. And so I wanted to do it. But I needed to do it country style since I'm a country artist, and so it was kind of fun just to add my own little twist on it and stuff. So I have, and in fact, besides those 2 songs, I'm getting ready. There's going to be okay. This is a surprise, so you guys will hear it first. But there's going to be an album release coming out within the next couple weeks as well. So it's going to be super fun. So it'll be my 6th album, which is kind of exciting. So I guess I have been busy still during the virus. Just not doing the performing that I thought I'd be doing, but it's been fun to do some recording and some writing, and anyway, so that's been great anyway. And just kind of connecting with my fans. I feel like I've been able to just with social media just kind of connect more one-on-one, so that's been nice too. So.
Now, you mentioned about your album just a moment ago. That's going to release somewhere down the track. Do you want to give us any dates at all when we might be expecting that?
Sure. So if you're on my email list, which I hope you are, and do you mind if I say my email address?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to sign up onto my email address, you just go to ladyredneck.org, and I send out weekly emails, and everybody on my email list, they get the songs first. They get they hear what's happening before everybody else, except for you guys are hearing some stuff, obviously. But as far as the album, you're going to be hearing about it at the end of August, so it's going to actually be really soon. So I'm excited about that.
Now, talking about albums and writing music and all that, I guess, have you done any virtual performances since
Yes, I have. It's been really fun. I had never done Zoom concerts before this. I'd done Facebook live shows, Instagram live shows, and stuff like that. But yeah, I've done some really fun Zoom ones. In fact, one of my favorite Zoom concerts was actually with a group from the UK that just do the whole concert series, and they get like a whole group of them get together, and they were just super fun because they asked me the funniest questions. We laughed so hard. So instead of just a concert, it was able, like, it was kind of like like they were all interviewing me and we were all making jokes, and it was just like such a good time. It was awesome. So, but yeah, it's been fun to do some Zoom concerts. Who would have thought we'd be doing Zoom concerts? It's it's such a weird time. But yeah, here we are. So so yeah, it's been really fun. I actually enjoy them, but not as much as the energy of like having the real crowd and being on stage and stuff. But there's a lot of energy still coming, so it's fun. So
Now, prior to everything going horribly wrong this year for everyone in 2020, during the winter over there, did you do any live performances in the first 2 or 3 months of the year?
I did just, yeah, I did. I did like House of Blues in Dallas. Like I play there quite a bit, and then just I was actually just preparing to start working on my tour. So I was kind of like working with some PR and some different people like that. I was setting up my fan club, which is awesome. I got some really great people on my team with my fan club, and kind of working on that, just preparing for the big tour this summer. So I didn't do as many live shows because I thought I was going to be doing them the rest of the year. So not as, if I would have known it would have been this way, I would have done the opposite and like done the tour first and then, but
Yeah.
it is what it is, I guess. So.
Now, when obviously both states, funny enough, here in Victoria, in Australia, and obviously down over there in Texas, in the US, obviously we're all in lockdown at the moment. I guess, when are you hoping to get back on the live scene?
I don't even dare set any more up until, I've had a lot of people contact me, but I just don't dare set in any dates until I know that I can actually do them. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
I just don't want to spend all that energy and all of that, because it seems like I don't know with you guys, but like so we got put in lockdown in Dallas. I think it was like April or the beginning of May. So we've been in lockdown for a long time, and everything kind of had opened up. And then he like kind of our governor kind of reversed it to where we were like even in like it got even more strict. And it's like California opened up, then it became now it's in lockdown again. It's like we're kind of going backwards. So
Hmm.
I was getting ready to start trying to line stuff up, but then I'm like, gosh, when everything started kind of getting locked down, I kind of didn't want to lock it. I didn't want to like set stuff up and then have it all canceled again. So I don't know. I don't really want to have like anything planned until I see something happening where I know it's gonna actually come to fruition because it's just anyway, yeah, it's just frustrating. So I'm just gonna kind of keep doing what I'm doing, like doing lots of live shows. I actually set up a live, like a Facebook, not just a Facebook Live, but an actual concert. Facebook had sent me a message saying that they have a new program now where you can sell tickets online. I think they do it with Eventbrite or something. And so I'm going to do a full-on concert, not even a live show, and just see how it works on Facebook to do it that way as well instead of like stage it. I thought, well, I'm just going to keep like working on it this way, until I until I can get out there and get performing again. So,
Now, being a country music artist, obviously the southern parts of the US is famous for its country music. Obviously, for Texas to the other side of the country. I guess my question I'm going to ask, obviously, the Country Music Hall of Fame and obviously the home of country music is in Nashville, in Tennessee, which I've had the privilege of going to numerous times.
yeah.
Have you ever performed over in Nashville?
I've done a little bit of performing over there. I was also nominated like as an indie artist as Female Country of the Year. So I went over there and walked the red carpets, and I've done like shows. I've done like I've been over there involved in like different awards programs and stuff like that. Texas actually has a huge country music. They've kind of got their own charts here too. So as far as like the whole Nashville country, the whole Texas country, I'm kind of in the middle. Like I do quite a bit with the Texas country, and I do quite a bit with the Nashville country as well. But in all reality, the way that social media um, has has changed the music industry, you don't have like years ago, you had to go to Nashville, you had to play their games, you had to be accepted in the community. And now it's not like that. Like my music, being in Texas and not even living in Nashville, last year I had some music on the country charts, and I was able to really, and my fan base is right under 1 million followers right now, and I don't live in Nashville. So I don't know that. I think that the way that just with social media, just kind of neutralizing the playing field, making it so that you can kind of do music from anywhere. You can set up tours from anywhere. You don't really have to live in Nashville anymore. I do love to go there. The people are awesome. The whole environment. I don't know if you got to. Did you go to Nashville when you came? Okay, so
Yep.
like the whole feel of Nashville was awesome. Like the people are awesome. The coffee shops, just all the fun. Nashville's a great place. And if I didn't live in Texas, I probably would live in Nashville. But I love Texas. So I wouldn't be surprised if I do end up living there at some point. So yeah, and I have spent time there. Yeah. So in answer to your question, yeah, I've been to Nashville quite a few times, and I love it there too. And I love Texas as well. So.
Yeah. For you, how did you get involved in music and why did you choose it?
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a great question. So I grew up like when I was just little, like my parents were always in bands, and they always had like their band t-shirts or band hats, and they were always doing gigs all the time. And my dad was a music major, and so like we grew up like in music. Like I started playing piano and guitar when I was 6, the violin when I was like 10, picked up the mandolin, the bass guitar. Like we all played a whole bunch of instruments. And so then we had like a family band, and it was like me and my sisters and my dad. And so we traveled all over the Northwest, and that's all we did was we performed. So we grew up doing like corporate events and wedding shows and fair circuits, and like we played music all the time. Like every weekend, we had gigs all over. We did like even at schools, we did like their anti-drug rallies. Like so, music is just something I always did. It's basically who I am. I just started releasing my own stuff 4.5 years ago and started going by Lady Redneck. So this is my first time I've ever like like done my own thing. Like I've always been in a group. You know what I like? I've been in a few other bands too. Like I was the bass player in an alternate rock band in college and stuff like that. But now it's like I'm finally doing my own thing, my own music, my own style. So I just felt like kind of because I stopped like for a while I was doing a couple other like business ventures, but inside I always felt like I was like betraying myself kind of because I always felt
Mm.
like music was like my calling. Does that make sense? Like I felt like, and it's not that my music is the best in the world because I mean I know a lot of people love it, and I want everybody to love it, but not everybody will. But I'm hoping that I just feel like I've got like there's something inside that makes me want to not only do music but help people and relate to them, and I hope I can be like inspirational and help people to stand for something or help people like if they're down and they write me a message, I want to be able to like pick them up. Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like as being an entertainer, you have a responsibility not just entertaining with music, but like connecting with your fans, like being a real friend and being there and like helping them. And like I think to be a true artist and a true I don't even know what the word is, but I just feel like music was a big part of my calling, but it was also just a way to relate and help and meet other people and hopefully inspire them, I guess. So that's I don't know. So that's why I just music's always been who I am. So it was like it wasn't even a question in my mind, kind of. So.
And what would be some highlights throughout your music journey so far?
Oh, highlights probably like being nominated for award shows, like being nominated for Female Country Music Singer of the Year. That's phenomenal. Like the red carpet. I've loved doing. Um, okay, so probably some of my biggest shows, being on stage with other country music singers, those have been big highlights. And even like when I lived in the Philippines, I remember there was a couple times where I directed some huge choirs. And it was for our church, but the people were so nice and so awesome, and like and we got to sing in Cebuano. That was actually a highlight to me too, just like connecting with some of the other people across the world. But like, so yeah, so those are some of my highlights. Would be being entertained, like getting recognition is fun, but it probably like one-on-one moments I've had where I know that I've really connected with a fan, or that I've written a song and I've gotten a letter saying that changed my life. Like stuff like that has been like probably my biggest highlights. So
Now you mentioned about, I guess, a bit of a difference in country music from what I guess the Tennessee country music in Nashville to obviously the Texas style country music, especially there in Dallas. For anyone out, especially here in Australia, I have no idea what the difference is between the two. I guess what's the subtle differences between the two style of country music?
okay, so Nashville, you may have noticed Nashville has taken on kind of more of a pop country feel overall.
Yes.
Um, with Chris Stapleton and some of the artists, they're kind of bringing it back down more to a traditional, like Midland has more of a traditional country, but Nashville's definitely more of a pop country feel. Like Texas country is like country. It's like outlaw, red dirt, like it's like country music that never changed, kind of. It never kind of went. So much of the Nashville country is, like pop. Like a lot of it's like pop with a fiddle player, or add a banjo in there and call it pop or something. So yeah, Texas is just like they're known for their outlaw country. They like to sing it how it is. So that would be the difference. You'd be able to, if you heard the two styles, you would definitely be able to
Yes.
tell.
Yes, completely agree with that. Yes, been to a couple of shows in Dallas, and obviously been to a lot over in Nashville, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Um, Now, I have to ask, what does country music mean to you now?
Country music to me is a family. Like in pop music, there's so many artists, and sometimes they'll have one hit, you'll never hear of them again. Like with country music, that we're known for like having morals, like being about family, being about country, being about God, and just having this like once you're part of the country music family, it's like you're really part of a family. Like
Mm.
it's just got a base of not like a million singers where where and there it's just that it's more of a family feel, and I think that's what attracted me to country music. I grew up on a farm, and I grew up riding horses and stuff like that. So I live in the city now, but I also love to shoot guns. I love to play in the mud and jump on my four-wheeler, but then I love to put on my heels and like dress all up, and so it's kind of like with country music, I can do that. Like I can I can be fishing, half the day, and then like, doll myself up, and it still fits. It's still me. So that's what I like about country music.
Do you have any short or long-term goals in country music?
I do. I would like to. I would like to be on the CMA Awards and be nominated as Female Country Artist of the Year at the CMA Awards, and I'd love to play at the Grand Ole Opry, and just I've got like I said, I've got so many fans and so many people that are so supportive of my music, and I'd like to start doing some more touring as soon as this virus stops. I want to get out there and just be on the stage, and that's my goal. I just want to get back out there and get touring.
Yeah.
So that and just to have my music heard across the world. So those are my goals.
Now, just going further in response to that, in regards to now our Australian listeners who are fantastic country music people as well. Obviously, we have our home of country music here in Australia, in Tamworth. I have to ask, when are we expecting you to maybe come down to Australia?
I would love to come to Australia. I would definitely come there. Yeah, when I set up a tour, when I go, when it's an international tour, I definitely need to go to Australia. I've already decided that. I've got to see the kangaroos. I've heard about all the, I've got some fans from Australia, and they say the good day and all the cute, like Australians talk cute. I love the accent. I feel like I would really like it there. I don't know.
Now, obviously you mentioned about kangaroos and all that. Is there any other animals in the country that you would love to,
Yeah.
get a chance to see and or give them a cuddle?
Yeah.
Now let's talk a bit about, I guess, what would be your advice to our listeners out there that should get involved in country music?
So, you know what? My advice would be just put your music out there. Get a great recording of it. And so with social media, like the way that when I started putting my music out there, I've written tons of songs, but I didn't know if anybody would like them, because they're my own style. Some of them are quirky and just kind of crazy. Like, I'll write about fishing or hunting or, stuff that maybe not everybody. But when I put my first song out there, I had radio stations across the world start contacting me saying, hey, can we play your music? I really love your song. And that's kind of how it took off for me. The next thing I knew, I was on some country charts. And so with the listeners out there that do country music and you want to get started, put your music out there. Like the way that the internet is right now, you don't have to be in the States. You don't have to be in Nashville. You don't have to be in a specific place. You just have to have good content and just go for it. So that'd be my advice. Just put it out there. Get it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform, TikTok, whatever one you choose, just get it out there and just go for it. So that'd be my advice.
Now let's finish with a couple light-hearted questions as well, which is any embarrassing moments on stage?
Oh, yeah. But I'm thinking of the first one that comes to mind, actually, like playing with my dad. One time we were doing this show on like a television station, and he was playing the guitar, and he like literally fell off the stage, and all of a sudden you could see his boot coming up. So that's not as much me personally, but like with our group, like when it's on TV and and it was like a live show, it wasn't even taped, so that's kind of embarrassing. Maybe just that, I don't know.
Now, I always ask this question to all the music artists that I have on the show. Was there any point that while you're performing that you just forgot the words to a song?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And guess what I do? I make them up. I just keep singing. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure people notice, but yeah, it's better than it having go dead quiet, So yeah, I just keep singing, or else I'll start dancing and acting like I meant to. Point at the guitar player. I've actually got pretty good at
that. Now, when you're performing and you obviously introduce yourselves to your amazing fans that you have over there, is there any point when you introduce yourself that you actually forget what venue and what town you're in, and you actually say a different town completely and not realize it?
You know what? I have not done that yet. Thank heavens. Now that you said it, now that it's in my head, I probably will. I hope I don't, but luckily that hasn't happened. So.
Yes, touch wood, not yet. Now, do you have a pre-event superstition or ritual?
Oh my gosh, I totally do. Yeah, I really do. I have two. Every time before I record or before I pray, before I record or before I perform, I always pray because I'm a religious girl, and I always have to bring 90% dark chocolate, and it has to be 90%, and people hate it, so nobody wants it, just me. And I like literally always have to eat dark chocolate, and I feel like it makes me perform better. I feel like it makes me sing better, and I know it's in my head, but I just do it. I love dark chocolate, so yeah.
Well,
So
at least, obviously, you know, chocolate's always a good thing to have. So,
yeah.
so there you go. I think I've got an idea what to get you when I get to see you in person.
Awesome.
Now I have to ask. Now you mentioned about your band just a moment ago. Tell us a bit about your band members.
Okay, so I've been in several bands. Right now, I don't have like, since I didn't get since the tour didn't, like, with the virus stopped. I had a group put together, but we've kind of like just we're kind of on hold. And so it was a group that I'd hired, because before I always had a band that was my back, you know, that I worked with. So right now I don't like officially have band members. I'm probably gonna have to rehire and just get, you know, like have tryouts and figure out who, kind of start back over, because taking a break and then having to find people that can tour again, it's gonna, you know, I don't have like a set group right now until the virus is passed.
Mm.
So unfortunately, I can't answer that one. I don't know.
No,
So
that's
I've worked with some really great people, though. Really great people.
And we'll finish off with this one last one, which is for everyone here in Australia that should follow your music on the socials or through the music channels. How can I go about it?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. Okay, so Facebook, if you just look up Stephanie Lee Lady Redneck, you'll find me on there for sure. I am on there all the time. I've got so many videos, so many, you know, I do live shows on there every Wednesday at 6. So same time tomorrow, I'll be doing a live show, and those are always super fun. And then also, like, on Instagram, it's, oh my gosh, look at this, Will. I'm sorry. And then on Instagram, it's like I'm sorry. On Instagram, it's at Lady Redneck Music, and it's like Lady _Redneck _music. And you'll see, because like, so on my Facebook page, I've got like 800,000 followers, but I haven't done as much with my Instagram. So I think I've got like 92 or 93,000 followers or something. But there's all of these like fake pages that try to start all the time. You know what I mean? Like people that say that they're me and send messages. So just make sure that it's me if you follow me on Instagram, because that drives me crazy. Like, I'll have people saying, hey, were you asking me for money? And did you write me this saying you love me? And I'm like, no, I don't even know you. You know what I feel so bad. I feel so bad, you know, because it's like people keep making these fake accounts of me. And it's, so just make sure it's the Lady Redneck Music if you follow me on Instagram. So, and then like Spotify, just look up Lady Redneck Music. You can hear it all on there as well. So yeah, that'd be great. I would love, and that'd be awesome. I would love to, and just say hi too, that maybe that you heard it on Smash FM, and I'll be like, hey, yeah, Will was great, you know, so yeah, definitely.
Steph, well, Steph, thank you so much for joining us. It's awesome having you on the show, and we wish we had you here in Australia. And also, we would love to come back to Dallas, Texas again, and hopefully get to meet you in person. And I'm sure, and I'm sure that will happen down the track. But once we get out of COVID, but. Thank you so much for joining us. It's lovely having you on the show, and I can't wait to listen to your new album later on this month.
My pleasure. Well, thank you, Will. I'm grateful for the opportunity. It was so fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So take care of yourself, stay safe, and hopefully I'll talk to you guys again soon.
Absolutely, and that's Stephanie Lee there, of course. Join us from Dallas, Texas, because you can definitely, we'll post up on how you can follow her music on our socials a little bit later on today. so you can check it out, and especially just in time for her release of her album later on this month. There's more on the Smash Evening Show right after this. Don't go away, here on Lockdown Wednesday.